Hi guys, it's Mary, and it is Thursday at 1 o'clock, which means it's time for a video tutorial. So hang on just a second. I'm going to make sure off to the left that I'm actually going out on the web somewhere. I don't know where it goes, but hopefully somewhere. Let's see if we can get this called up. Now y'all, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I've had a day. I spent a couple hours, it felt like, okay, maybe it was 20 minutes, on the phone with the credit card company because we've had some fraud issues with Stamps.com, and so we declined your card 3 times. And no, do you have a 4th telephone number? I mean, it was just insane. So I'm a little frazzled, not gonna lie. But hopefully you'll watch and you'll learn a little something. This is the plan I had for you. Hi Bree, appreciate you joining. A couple of videos ago, I had a lady leave a comment and say that she quills cards, which is where you take fabric or paper actually, and you take long strips of fabric and you wind them up, and then you adhere them to the front of your card in like twirls, and you make patterns out of it, and it's really cool. Hey Barbara, hi Pam, Linda, Faye, appreciate y'all joining. And she was searching for a box envelope that she could put her thick cards in, because obviously if my dimensionalized cards are pretty thick, I'm sure that ones with big pieces of quilled paper on the front are also thick. But she'd been having trouble finding one that was narrow enough, like around 1/4 of an inch. So I did a little research, found a couple of tutorials, and then modified it, because most of the tutorials I found used a different kind of score tool and or used an envelope punch board. And so I wanted to do one that I thought most of y'all would have the tools to do. So that's what we're gonna do today. Hi Brooke, hey Faith, appreciate you joining. Hello, hello everybody. Karen, you didn't miss very much. It was just me whining about credit card companies. It's, you know, it was just me, wah, wah, wah. All right, so I've made 2 examples. This one here is made with the In Good Taste DSP. So you can see it's got decorations on the front and it's decorated on the inside. I also made one from Whisper White, and we're gonna make another DSP and a very vanilla one, just so I can show you how to make it. And I've also made, just to show you what I would do, we're going to use some labels that I've made from Tasteful Labels. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how to do it. Hey Sylvia, appreciate you joining. Hi Barbara. All right, so let's make the first one with some very vanilla. It's a little easier to see the scores on here than it is on the DSP, okay? So regardless, what you're going to end up with is an envelope that will hold an A2 size card. It is about 3/8 of an inch thick on the outside, so roughly 1/4 inch on the inside. It holds my thick cards quite fine, so this would be a good size to mail. And I had some really important thing. Regardless of whether you use cardstock or DSP, to make this size card, you're going to need an 8.5 by 8.5 piece of your paper. Now, to make this, what I want you to do is you're first going to put 1 point at the 6-inch mark at the top, and you're going to stick the other point against the side at the 6-inch mark. Okay, so what that does is it lines the paper up with the score marks. Okay, straight so far? Then I'm going to take my score tool and I'm going to make 2 scores. The first is going to be at 2 7/8, and then the second will be at 3 1/4. What I want you to do is I want you to start up near the top. First of all, that helps make sure you get in the correct, you know, doohickey, the scoring line. And it also gives you a nice straight running start onto your cardstock. So we're just going to score at 2 7/8 and then again at 3 1/4. Okay. Then we're going to turn it 90 degrees. So put the next corner at the 6-inch and then put the left side at the 6-inch along the side. Hey Marianne, hi Lenny, hi Lou. And then we're going to do a different measurement. The first one will be at 3 1/4. Okay, and you can start to see it coming together really already. And then the second one at 3 5/8. And again, I want you to start above the cardstock so that you're sure you're in the correct score line, and it also gives you a good kind of running start onto the score, or onto the cardstock. Okay, another 90-degree turn, And again, with the next point at 6 inches and the left side at 6 inches, we're back to the 2 7/8, which is right here, and 3 1/4 right here. And then one more so that you can start to see the inside of your envelope coming together. Put the next point at the top and the left side at 6 inches, and we're back to 3 1/4 and 3 5/8. And it might make a little bit of a divot there, but it's okay because we're going to cut most of it out. Okay, so you can see we've got an envelope started in the middle, and I'm going to put this aside now. Now, if you are using, now this is totally just me, but if you are using a piece of cardstock, of just plain cardstock, I would stamp something here, right about here, to match your card, right? Because no naked envelopes. Even a handmade envelope needs to be decorated, but we're not going to do that today. But I would do that, and I would do it right now before you fold anything, okay? So decorate, 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 decorate. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the little detailed trio punch, and it's got a corner rounder, and I'm going to round all of the corners. Okay. And this is a real handy little punch. I like it because you can also do a tag topper punch hole to run like thread through, or yarn or cord or whatever to make a tag. And then you've also got a little cute little fleur-de-lis doohickey one as well. But we're just using the basic corner rounder. Okay, now again, if you're using plain cardstock, this is the point where I would take a piece of DSP that matches your card, and I would adhere it to pick one, and then that becomes the top of your envelope, okay? That way when they open it up, they're gonna have a nice decorated piece. But we're, again, not gonna do that. Yeah, it's a very good punch. All right, so now, can you all see this triangle right here? Yep, we're gonna cut that out. Back in the days of the envelope punch board, this would have sort of been mostly cut out for you by the punch thingy, but we're gonna make this work just fine. So we're gonna cut out all of those little triangules. Triangules, that's a name I just made up right then. Well, you'll be glad to know it's raining again. We had 3 absolutely spectacular days, and so now it's raining, but it's nice and pleasant. It's not too warm, not too cool. It is Goldilocks weather, which means it is just right. Very, very nice. Got all the windows open, letting all that nice, lovely humidity in the house. And if you couldn't sense the sarcasm over the camera, then I'm sorry. Yes, you always need doohickeys. Doohickeys are very critical. Okay, so now all we're going to do is we're going to fold. Each side has 2 folds to fold on. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to locate my bone folder. It is around here somewhere. It's that kind of day, you guys. I'm just saying. That kind of day. Okay, well, I'll find one here in just a minute, or I won't. We just never know, do we? We never know what Mary will. Oh, there it was, right in front of me. Good Lord. Okay, so just give it a little burnish. You don't have to go crazy, okay? But you want it to have a little bit of structure. And we're just going to do that all the way around. And this is why it's really easier. If you're going to decorate a flap, you want to do it before you start doing all of this, because it's just a lot easier. And if you're going to stamp on the front of your envelope, then it's way easier to do it ahead of this. Okay. Now, the first time I made this, I used tear and tape adhesive, which is awesome. It worked great. But it helps when you're making a box, because this is kind of a critical piece right here. You want these sides to be perpendicular to the front and the back, okay? And if you don't get these together correctly, then you have this. You could have that, or you could have that, and you don't want that. So I made my second one using liquid glue. Okay, and I do actually like that a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to try something here. I want to try a little something something because I'm going to show you what I didn't care for over much. I didn't like how that looked right there, so I'm going to try to work it so that I can push this tab inside here. We'll see if we can do that. Okay, so I'm going to put a little liquid glue. So this is an experiment, okay? It's an experiment. Gosh, I wish I could send you guys the rain. My goodness, y'all need a soap. Oh, you got rain in Oregon. Yay! I guess God was listening, huh? Good. I'm glad to hear that. I know I am probably not nearly as glad as y'all are. Okay, so with that glue on the bottom, I'm going to pull it up and I'm really kind of making an eyeball assessment, okay? So I'm looking to see that this is perpendicular and the bottom is perpendicular and flush, okay? So I'm kind of holding it right there like that, giving it a minute to dry. I mean, the downside, of course, of using liquid glue is that you do have to give it a second to take a hold. But the upside is you can do what I just did there, which was do some adjusting, right? It's all give and take. It's all give and take. And then we'll pull this guy over. And again, we want to make sure that we get all the edge. This is perpendicular and this end is flush, okay? And then you can just kind of stick your hand in and pull the pieces up like that. Okay. And the least amount of glue that you get on the inside of your envelope, the better, because it's really, really hard to get it out of there. Okay. And you can see it's going to be persnickety because it's on camera. Let me see if I can push it in the right spot. There we go. All right, that ought to be just about good. Okay, so that is the start of our envelope. And then what I would do is I would probably use a little tear and tape adhesive right here. And once I'd put my card in, you could get it closed up. So that is how your card is going to go. And then you would address it as usual, okay? Now, let's do one with DSP because I want to show you my little label. Hey guys. Hi, Lenny has sunny in Wyoming, Michigan. Well, that is awesome. Okay, let's see. Let's not use that side because that will make me dizzy. We're going to use this side as the outside. So let's pull up another. Let's do it again, okay? We'll go in like regular speed instead of slow speed, okay? So 6 inches at the top, 6 inches on the side. We're going to start at 2 7/8 and do exactly the same. And you'll see very quickly why I didn't do this first because it's really hard for you to see the score lines, but I promise they're there. Turn 6 inches, 6 inches, and 3 1/4, and 3 5/8. Turn 6 inches, 6 inches, okay, and 2 7/8, and 3 1/4, and the final turn, 6 inches, 6 inches, 3 1/4. Kind of got to hold it. Own the paper, people. Own the paper. And 3 5/8. There we go. Okay. Oh, nice. Fall in Utah. Yeah, the rains, Karen. Well, no, I've been really lucky. These are not the gels. I've had a manicure since the gels because I managed to break the first one like in the first day or two because I'm a dork. It was broken before I did the gels and it just couldn't survive. Okay, so let's go ahead and round our corners. The only trick with this is you got to be sure that the paper is in square to the little guides. There we go. And then we're going to do the, this is a little harder because it's really kind of hard to see. So I'm gonna wiggle it all around, trying to make it so I can see the scores, especially with that DSP. So like, don't do a really complicated DSP for your first one. I'm just, you know, throwing that out there. Goodness gracious, I can't see that at all. Wait, there it is. Okay. Whew. It's like those, you remember those posters that were popular, like, oh gosh, in the early 90s, where you had to stand in front of it and kind of blur your eyes, and then you would see like a rhinoceros or fighter jets or the space shuttle or something like that. That's kind of how I feel right now, as I'm trying to see things that can't be seen. These are unseeable things, and I'm attempting to see them. To see the unseeable things. Yes. Only I could get Don Quixote from this. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and fold. And fold. And fold. What's kind of fun about doing it with DSP though is you've automatically decorated, and your inside's just as fun as the outside. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some gluing. Some gluing. Magic eye books. Yes, there you go. There you go. Magic eye books. We'll do a little glue there. And get everything lined up. And a little glue there. Get everything lined up. And hold. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2. Feel the burn. No, totally different. Totally different. I'm adjusting because I'm seeing that I'm out. Okay. Just making it seem like it's way harder than it really is. I'm sorry, it's just not that hard. But you do have to take a few minutes to make sure that everything is where you want it to be, because once it's there, it's kind of there. I mean, you know, you can always kind of go back and fix it. And then maybe run a little glue under here if it's not sitting down where you want it. There you go. Now, obviously, the cardstock ones are a little stouter. And I'm not gonna fib you. I am not entirely sure that I would feel all that great mailing these. I don't know. I think I might mail them in a package. You know what I'm saying? Is I'm not sure I would stick a stamp on this and trust them through the postal service. Not anything against the postal service. It's just everything is a little rough on stuff, right? I mean, even things that are really stout. Hey, Amy. Anything that is really stout has a problem in the post office these days, so this thing probably would really have a problem. Okay, so while that is doing, I'm going to show you the two little labels I made, because obviously these are going to be a little hard to put even a To Bobby Sue from Sarah Jane on, right? But I made some little labels using the Tasteful Labels dies. And I put some Whisper White cardstock on some of the new adhesive sheets, and then I cut them out. And so I used this one for the main address and this one for the return address should you use it. This would also work great if you're just gonna put, like, you know, Bobby Sue, okay? And then you can just address your label as you need it to be and peel the back off with your wonderful nails. She says, as she attempts to peel the back off without peeling the sheet off, and is not doing a very good job of it. There it is. And then you can just stick it right on the front of your envelope. Isn't that fun? So, then you just use a little piece of tear and tape when you've got it all filled, stick your card in, and you're ready to rock and roll. Also, I do believe this would take a little extra postage because, you know, it's 1/4 of an inch thick or a little better. Okay? So there you go. Please use, I would suggest liquid glue. You can actually use tear and tape, like I said, but you're going to have to just acknowledge the fact that once you put it where it is, then that's where it is. It is what it is. It is where it is. All right? Okay, like I said, it was a short video, and it's really not square. It's really not. It's actually longer this way. This is 5.5. This is 4 3/4. So it's not square. They don't get to play that card, but it is thicker. And again, you would want this hand canceled for certain, sure. So you are going to have to pay a little extra for it. So again, I would probably use this as an insert into a gift or a hand carry, or you know, stick it in a gift basket that's all wrapped up, something like that. That's what I would do with these. But I did want to let you see that there is a way to make an envelope for your thick cards, and I know a little something about thick cards. I mean, I've made a few relatively thick cards in my day. Okay? All right, guys, I appreciate it, and I will be back on Thursday. Wait, no, this is Thursday. I'll be back on Saturday at 7 o'clock over on my Stamps-N-Lingers Facebook page with another project for you. Have a great rest of your day and your week, and thank you so much for spending part of Thursday with me. Bye-bye.